Hello comrades, today we'll be discussing what are Labour vouchers and how they are not money, as there is a big difference that many people often can't see, and there are a few videos about it on YouTube. According to most forms of socialist and utopians like Robert Owen, for example, who had Labour vouchers implemented in experimental socialist villages like New Harmony and New Lanark, to anarcho-collectivists, and to Karl Marx and contemporary Parkon advocates. Labour vouchers are to replace money in socialism. Why? We'll touch upon that later. For the moment, let's focus on what are Labour vouchers. Well, in the case of Marx, who lays out a general outline for Labour vouchers in his critique of the Gotha programme, are essentially checks given to a worker for a set amount of socially necessary or useful work that can be used to purchase an amount of good or services that took in turn, on average, the same amount of labour time to make. So if you've done an hour's worth of work in the kitchen, and each meal takes on average 30 minutes to make, then, and after an hour's worth of work in this kitchen, the worker would be able to purchase 2 meals. So overall, you do a certain amount of work and thus get a set amount of vouchers with which you can purchase goods and services with. Sounds like money at first, doesn't it? Especially since in these early conceptions these were physical pieces of paper, like money too. Although more current conceptions could also be done on an electronic chip and PIN card based system. So, what is the difference between money and labour vouchers? Well, there are 2 major differences. Firstly, labour vouchers are backed by labour, so they represent a set amount of labour as opposed to being backed by something like gold, oil, or artificially set by a state, for example. Secondly, labour vouchers, like normal vouchers, are destroyed upon use, or at least become useless after use, so they cannot be transferred or accumulated in the same way money can. Thus, if you buy a pint at a pub, you may use up some of your labour vouchers, but the pub doesn't gain these labour vouchers. These vouchers are simply gone. They are deleted in the case of an electronic system. And at payday, the workers at that pub will get paid their own vouchers for their work. There is no direct transference. Great, so that's what roughly, in a summarised fashion, what labour vouchers are and why they're different to money. But why must we have labour vouchers in socialism? Well, there are several reasons for this, but firstly, as socialism comes directly out of capitalism, there would still be some level of scarcity remaining. As money and currency cannot be abolished overnight, as scarcity itself won't disappear overnight, using a currency to assist in the counting and distribution and preventing overconsumption is still needed. Secondly, socialism is a society based upon the workers democratically owning and running the means of production, producing for use, and thus it makes sense for the currency to be based upon work. And thirdly, labour vouchers, being non-transferable, prevent the existence of bribery, loans, rent, and other capitalist practices, preventing the practices of the old system from existing in the new system, whilst keeping the benefits of a currency. Furthermore, just to clarify, despite the fact labour vouchers would be issued for labour performed in normal circumstances, in the case of welfare, labour vouchers would still be issued to those who are unable to work, such as the elderly and the disabled, as a set amount, so they are able to still purchase goods and have a decent quality of life under socialism. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Relevant reading will also be in the description. Red salute, comrades.